Trust me, guys, when I tell you that I'm not purposefully being late on these videos. My allergies in the past month have just wrecked my whole schedule. I told you I was going to go live last night. Allergies said, no, you're not. Anyway, it's been a month, give or take, since I bought the Apple. You know, I was a PC guy. I've always had Windows PCs, but this go around I needed to replace my computer. I got the M4 Mac Mini base model, nothing special, and I've had it for a month now, so I thought we would talk about some things I like, some things I don't necessarily like, but get used to them eventually, I guess. Welcome back to Stormin Norman Says. I'm Stormin Norman. That must mean I have some things to say. And we're going to talk about the Mac Mini today. I've had it for a month, probably. And I did a video after having it for a week, wasn't it? I think I did a video on having it for a week. Now we're going to do one on me having it for a month. And what I like about it, what I'm going to still trying to get used to. Ignore all this on the whiteboard. That's all my brake parts I need to replace the brakes on my truck eventually when I feel like dying of a heat stroke. But got some things wrote down. Luckily I had to have a unorthodox camera angle just so I felt like y'all should probably see what I'm talking about. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, number one, we're going to start with things that I don't necessarily love, though I might get used to them. And I know a lot of people in the comments have said a lot of the things, there's workarounds in the settings, so I might find out how to change that one day in the future. But right now, we're still working our way through things, through Mac OS, seeing what this is like. Said I'd never join the Apple cult. But I still don't plan on getting an iPhone though. But that's another thing I could have put on here. Things I don't like. We'll start with that one since I didn't write it on here. When I plug my phone into the Mac, I got a Galaxy S24. And when I plug it in, it don't recognize it. Like it doesn't come up as a thing. Like the memory cards and stuff do, which it did when I plug it into my PC. It comes up as its own drive, and I can go to it and pick things off of it, put it on a computer, and vice versa. But it don't do that, so that's kind of annoying. If I record a video, or if I record something or take a picture that I'm going to use as a thumbnail, and I use my phone, I can't plug it directly into the Mac and then edit it on I have to plug it into my laptop, transfer it over there, then transfer it onto the memory card, and then like there might be some kind of workaround there that I don't know about, but that's kind of annoying. Hovering. So on the on the Windows PC, like say I take my cursor here and I put it on the, let me zoom y'all in, I forgot I was going to do that. So if I put my cursor over the icon of the app on my Windows PC, a little window pops up and shows me what was last on that thing, if it's open, if I already have it open. That was incredibly helpful. So like if I was writing something, so let's say I'm writing my Sunday school lesson and I wanted to write a quote. Say I wanted to add a quote. I would look it up on Chrome, and by the way, I put Chrome on here because Safari kind of sucks. So I put Chrome on here. But I would go take my cursor, because I got, Microsoft Word open, and I want to write a quote in my Sunday school lesson. I would just take the cursor, hover over Google Chrome, a little window would pop up, and I could see what the last thing I did on there was, which the quote would show up and I could just type it. But you can't do that here. You put your cursor over the icon and nothing happens. So that kind of stinks. Like if I wanted to type a Bible verse in, usually I just open my Bible app, copy it, and post it or paste it. But if I just wanted some information, like I wasn't going to copy the whole verse, but I just wanted to reference it, I could put the cursor over the Bible app, the little window would pop up, and I could write the information. Can't do that. So that kind of stinks. But what you gonna do, right? Eject cards. So you can, I have a memory card in here right now, and I can just push it and it'll click and it'll come out. But it'll be like, oh, you didn't eject the card properly. You didn't, like you have to right click on the card thing, a little menu pops up and it says eject card. Like, why? So there's that. That's kind of annoying because, you know, I don't want to mess anything up. It doesn't really seem like it does mess anything up because I've forgotten several times and just ejected the card without actually clicking eject on the thing. So maybe that don't matter. But in my head, it's like, am I messing something up? Am I doing something wrong? Whatever. I don't know. Also, I don't like the location of the memory card slot. Let me get y'all in here. So I bought the dock. I told y'all, I think in the previous video, that I was wanting to buy the dock for it. So this is the Mac Mini. This is what you get. And it's got the ports in the front, there's some ports in the back, headphone jack, whatever, but it doesn't have a card reader and it doesn't have all these USB-A ports. So I bought this dock for it, and now I have memory card slot, so I can just slide that in there. I don't like that. I wish Apple would have included one, maybe put it like right here on the top or something easier to get to than that, which I know that's aftermarket. I could have bought something else, but whatever. Number 4, Finder. Don't really love Finder too much. You open it up. There's a little window that ain't showing me nothing. It's got all the things over here. And I put all my videos in documents because there's not like a dedicated video thing slot over here. For some reason this ain't working. Anyway, we don't need it to be open to complain about it. I don't like Finder, but you know, it's doable. So I guess there's another thing to gripe about, that Finder has apparently just stopped working. Anyway, I don't like the things on the side, and I don't like the order, because like if I delete some videos, like the original videos, I put them on here, I go through and I edit them, I make them into the YouTube videos that you guys see, but now I don't need the clips that I had before, so I delete them because I've already made them into a video. Don't need them no more, so I delete them, and there'll be a hole here where I deleted them, and it doesn't automatically reorder them so that they make sense. And I close Finder, and next time I open it, it'll look exactly the same as it did before, with missing pieces from where I deleted videos and stuff. And that's kind of annoying. And there is ways you can like reorder it. I don't know, this is another one of them things I'm just going to have to work through and figure it out. Why does it have to be more difficult? I don't know. Same reason Ford and Chevy can't be. Like Ford and Chevy, they'll change things that just don't need changing. Like, hey, we put a 18mm bolt holding this on. Ford's like, well, we're going to put a 17 just to be different. Not really necessary, but we got to be different. And that's kind of how I feel like some of the things with Apple are. Like we could just do it this way and it'd be super intuitive, super easy, but we're Apple. We got to be different. The top bar, so when you got a window open, and when you want to access the normal things you would with the window open, it's up here. It's always up there. It's not on top of the window itself. It's on top of the main thing here. I made that full screen by accident. So there's Finder, not doing anything. And it's up here. So Finder, as you can see, I've taken the window, I have closed it, but it's still up here, which is probably pretty helpful in some instances, but I don't find it too helpful. So that top bar is kind of annoying because you're like working in a window. If you're used to Windows, if you're used to Apple, ain't none of this weird to you. But if you're used to PC and you're like got a window open, like let me open Spotify, and you're in Spotify and you're like, oh, well, where's the things to do things with up here? Because it's up here, not on the window itself, up here, which is, like I said, you just got to get used to it. And then, of course, one of everybody's main gripes, if you come over from PC to Windows, is that your buttons are over here. You want to close the window, you want to minimize the window, you want to resize the window. It's over here in the top left. Whereas on the PC, the windows, they're always over here. So that's just the normal thing. That's just another one of the things like Apple just being different for the sake of being different. Now, what's some things I like? I like the window sizing options. Like I said, over here you got your 3 buttons: close out the window, minimize the window, and then resize the window. You click that one and it for some reason goes full screen. You put the cursor on it and just wait a minute and your options come up and you can decide how you want this. You can always resize it yourself however you want it, but you can pick from their things over here. Like, say I want this Finder window to be on the right side of the screen. Just click that and it goes right to the right side of the screen. No problemo. So I kind of like that. I kind of dig that. I mean, you can do that in Windows too, but it's not quite as easy to get to, as easy to do. Screensaver. I showed y'all my screensaver last time. This is London. I went, as far as I can tell, you cannot put your own screensaver on an Apple. You have to choose from the ones they have. So I went through and I was looking at the cities. Well, they got different categories, but I was looking through cities and they had Los Angeles, boring. New York, boring. I'm an American. I see those cities all the time. I don't have no desire to go to either of those cities. But London, I'd love to go to London someday. So I got London up here. And what I really think is cool about it is that once the screensaver kicks on, this is the wallpaper, but once the screensaver kicks on, the screensaver becomes, or the wallpaper becomes the screensaver, and it's like an aerial shot. All this starts moving, and it's like an aerial shot of the city, which pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Third thing I like, the headphone jack. The headphone jack is in the front, and I watched a lot of reviews of the Mac Mini before I bought it, obviously, and a lot of people hated that. They hated the jack being in the front of the computer. I actually really like it because my computer I had before this was an all-in-one, and the headphone jack was behind the screen, like over here. Like you had to plug your headphones in behind the screen. So I never unplugged my speaker because reaching back there to unplug it to plug in headphones was an absolute pain. But now that I got the headphone jack in the front of the computer, I got my soundbar plugged in. But if I want to plug my headphones in, like when I'm editing, all I gotta do is unplug it, plug the headphones in. It's right there. I don't have to shimmy around the screen or anything like that. It's right there, super easy to get to. And the way I have this position, like, it's not in the way of anything. And a lot of people's like, it's right there in front, in the way. Like, well, it's not really my way. Plus, people like to have some kind of modern aesthetic on their YouTube videos, but y'all don't see that on my videos. And finally, the SSD, which, let's see if I can show y'all. This is my my SSD. It's a 1 terabyte. And the dock I bought, you can actually put an SSD inside it. I haven't bought one yet. But I got all my YouTube videos, for the most part, that I've made over the last 10 years on here. Most of them. Because when I was transferring them over, I might have accidentally deleted a whole chunk of them. But nothing I can do about that now. But all the YouTube videos I make, once I run out of space on the Mini, I just transfer them over to the Seagate here. Don't have to worry about it. Now when I get an SSD inside the dock here, which I need to do, then I can eliminate all this cord and stuff running to the bookshelf and whatnot. But until then, this works. The icon is up in the top corner of the screen with my other memory card that's still in there. So if I ever need to access it, it's right there. I don't have to go looking for it in Finder or anything. It's right there, super easy to get to. So those are some things that I love and I hate, and I will get used to about the Mac Mini. I was worried when I got it. Let me adjust y'all. I was a little worried when I got it because it's only got 256 gigs of storage on it. I was like, man, I'm probably going to burn through that quick. Especially because I was like telling myself, like, I'm not putting this app on here. I'm not putting this app because I don't want to eat into that 256. But I ended up putting those on here anyway. Let's go see how much memory I have. So I have 82 gigabytes available. Wait, yes. 82 gigabytes available of the 245, because it's not really 250. So that's pretty good. It's not bad at all. But like, I put Chrome on here, like I said, because I didn't like Safari. And I was not going to put Microsoft Word on here because I'm like, I'll just do my typing on my laptop or something. But I ended up putting it on here anyway. I put my Bible app on here. I wasn't going to do that, my Bible app doesn't take up hardly any room. Put Spotify on here. Put Canva, DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve could be a whole separate video. Let me know if you want to see that. But I just started using DaVinci Resolve when I got this computer because I couldn't put Filmora on here without buying it again, and I refuse to do that because Filmora sucks. So I got DaVinci Resolve. I've been learning how to use it. There's a steep learning curve compared to Filmora, but I'm getting the hang of it. Some of this stuff y'all might be used to seeing in my videos, like I don't know how to do them on here yet. So we'll make them. The videos will get better as I learn how to use DaVinci a little bit more. But some of the really cool things that I used to put in my videos, still figuring out how to do that. Need to watch some tutorials or whatnot. But there you go. I've had this thing for a month. I thought there was a high possibility I was going to hate it, but I don't. I mean, like I said, there's some things I don't like, but they're not like deal breaker things. They're not like, oh, I can't live with this kind of thing. I know I watched Camera Conspiracies. He bought the M4 Mac. He bought the Pro though, and he ended up not liking it. But his videos are like way more complex than mine as well. So the base model is doing just fine for me as far as the videos I do. I don't shoot videos raw. I don't, all these different codecs, and like, I make it with the camera, I put it in the computer and I edit it. There ain't nothing like super outrageous 8K, 6K, none of that. I ain't doing none of that. I ain't color grading. Simple as I can get it. And this thing, it's handling it just fine. Like I said, I 82 gigs free. That's pretty good. And that's I got a couple videos. I probably got like at least half a dozen videos on here now that I need to take off and transfer to the SSD. So that would free up, who knows, another 10 gigs or so of memory. So I ended up not hating it. I wouldn't say I love it. I wouldn't say, boy, I'm an Apple fanboy now, I'm switching over. I wouldn't go quite that far. Still not in love with Apple. Still think their OS is a little bit overcomplicated. But I'm getting the hang of it. And we're making do. There you go. We've had it for a month now. The last time I made a video about it, it did pretty well. So hopefully this one will do pretty well too. Get me them 4,000 watch hours I need, y'all. I don't hate it. Like I said, when I bought it, I was intending to use all the stuff that I was using on my PC, but that didn't work out. My sound bar is the only thing that I'm reusing from my previous setup. And the only reason I replaced the mouse was because my old mouse was doing weird things, and it was doing that before I hooked. It wasn't an Apple thing. It was doing that on my old computer too. Like I would open up a YouTube video and I would click on it to pause it, and it would go full screen. I'm like, that's not what I asked you to do. But it started doing the same thing on this computer, so I just went and got a new mouse. Heck with it. It was a cheap mouse anyway. So I appreciate y'all watching. This video probably sucks, but I felt like we should make it. You know, I'm not a computer guru. You know, I watch a lot of camera videos of people that know cameras, do cameras for a living, and I'm like, I'm not that person. That's why I'm going to do a video on my camera that we're on right now, and I want to do a video on that from the perspective of someone who's not, you know, a professional photographer or videographer, because that's a lot of the camera videos you see. Same with the computer stuff. I'm not a computer, you know, YouTube channel. I'm not a computer. My life revolves around the newest and latest and greatest. I just want something that works. So here's your 1 month review of the M4 Mac Mini from someone who don't know jack about Mac computers. But I appreciate y'all watching it, especially if you made it this far. I've been Stormin' Norman, and I've said things. See y'all later.